They say it's not rocket science. Well, this actually is.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Rocket Science podcast. So I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Jack.
Today's topic is completely random because the topic is related to all of us, especially for youth like us. So it's gonna be interesting.
And during these days, that the power of the youth has become really important in today's world. Entrepreneurs, youth, young learners, or like technicians at every part, they're like proving the world that they're capable of leading the future, they're changing the future into something that never existed before. So we're going to talk about the importance of our youth, and how can it change the world into something that we've never seen before.
Yeah. So we gotta go from the beginning, like before these entrepreneurs, before these invention creations of the youth, where we start. For nowadays, it's open to everyone. Like, so we got social medias, we got so many technicals surrounding to our environments, so we got so many opportunities from that. It's so much easier for young people like us to do volunteer. So the word volunteer, it's quite popular among youth, and it's extremely popular among youth to do volunteering. And whenever we go outside, we meet these young people, and when we chit chat a little bit, we ask them like, okay, what are you doing right now? And they're like, okay, I'm doing volunteering in this organization, in that organization, something like that. So let's begin with that thing first. So it's gonna be a very simple topic.
All right.
Yeah.
Something that we can relate to is firstly that volunteering has been a lot quite common in, I would say, Southeast Asia. Yeah, a lot common in Southeast Asia. In many parts, like it's online and also on ground, you can volunteer a lot of stuff. I think that's kind of a way that you can find your interest, or you can find what you want to do in your career, or you can find some path that might lead to your career. And maybe not directly, maybe it will help you indirectly. So that is important for the youth to do some volunteers in online or on ground, anywhere you want.
Yeah,
to get
because
some experiences.
we have so many benefits. We got benefits from volunteering, like especially it equipped our ability to communicate with each other. Because nowadays people normalize these public speaking so much, right? It's become one of the ability for the youth. So most of the people are trying this public speaking by doing volunteer, because once you volunteer, you start connected with so many people, different people, diverse people, and you gotta start talking. In even in typing or in online meeting, or somehow it 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 makes you confidence. It builds you confidence, and you start having this kind of confidence in you, that makes you dare to talk in public speaking. So I think that's one of the benefits by doing volunteer.
Yeah, exactly. So, but in some parts, there are a little bit of downside in these volunteerings, because the people are just doing the volunteering just to show off to other people. They're volunteering in this kind of organization, this big organization, or this big place, or they're showing off to other people. But what they're doing is not very much. What they don't have much accomplished in that organization, but they're showing off a lot of stuff. They don't have much influence. These can also lead to sometimes you compare yourself with others a lot. You compare yourself with these influencers, celebrities, but they're doing really great. But that's on social media. We don't know what's happening in real life. Mostly it's fake, and mostly is always full of lies. So the people only post the good parts of their life on social media. They don't usually post the bad parts, the negative parts. Yeah, that's how it goes. But you shouldn't lie.
It's kind of like releasing yourself. As a youth, we have so much pressure and so much stress, especially in today's age. Back in 2000, maybe 2001 or 2002 or 2003, in that era, the technology wasn't that wide enough, so we didn't have that much stress, pressure. We only have the school things, and going to school, and talk with the friends, and that's it. That's only our pressure. But after 2000, maybe 2011 or 2018, it started like the things are started changing into mostly leaning into social media. This usage of social media is widely expand among youth. So we got so much pressure, not only from our school, but also from these stress that comes from social media. So I think that's fair enough to post the good things, even when you're feeling bad about it.
Well, those stress and those devastating things come from because of posting as well. Because many people posted those stuff, people got stressed, and so they post again, so other people get stressed. So it's in the circle. The whole algorithm of the social media is also like leading us to get addicted to this. Never get your eyes off of this. That's how they made it. That's how it programmed.
Yeah, but the thing about that, you said that they're lying to self while doing the volunteer. Let's go back to that. So about volunteering is like, I don't think it's related with the youth. They're not lying to self. I think it's mostly related to organizations, because organizations call for volunteers. If you come to our organization, then you get this and you get these benefits and you get certificate, you get recommendation letters. These kind of like in intensive. Like they're giving intensive.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, for the young people like us who doesn't have any experience, they will go for it. Like because they are excited about it. They wanna try new things. So they maybe some of the youth, they went into a wrong path, or they choose wrong organizations. And from that, what happened is like they only care about getting certificates. At the end of their contract finish, like 3 months or 6 months later, and they get their certificate and they're just done. Their communication is also done, and they didn't build enough networking while they're volunteering in that specific organization, whatever they are trying to do. So I mean, it's not everyone, but most of the young people nowadays are something like that, because of the social media effect, and also because of the organization effect. I think it's really hard to find a good organizations nowadays, because youth organizations are so many. Because it's easier to build one, but it is harder to maintain a quality organization.
We can compare to that with another stuff that you mentioned. They do only to get the certificate, not to get experience, not to get some skills. We can compare to our school or university life or school life. We go there to get this certain certificate to get the job. But do you actually learn anything from school or the college? You don't actually learn, because you don't usually use those information in real life. But that's kind of a little bit different though. But when you actually learn in school, when you actually learn in college, you can actually use it in many other specific ways that can lead to like actual breakthrough of the human society. But they mostly use it just for the showcase in the living room. They got a certificate from Harvard. But what they're doing right now, they're just doing some influencer on social media. That doesn't make any sense. What is that? What are you going to Harvard for? For just show off on a social media? What are your passion about Harvard? What are your passion about your field of study? That's nothing. That's literally nothing. They don't use it for that. Same with the volunteer. They're just doing like that. They're just volunteering to get the certificate, to get the image, to use the image of the organization, to get some impression from other people's. They should have more quality control and with their skills as well. But I'm seeing some of the overly accomplishing some stuff on these kind of things. I know that you gotta appreciate small little things. You gotta enjoy small things. But when that thing goes to a little bit more than what it should be, it becomes like you think that what you're doing is professionalism, that is go with the policy. But that actually that's not how the real world works. They have the quality as well, but it's a little bit of overly confident, overpraising something that is not on that level yet. They should build to the level first. When you compare that to the international thing, with the international use or international standard, that is nothing. It is not very useful in international communities.
Well, the idea of volunteering is it's quite interesting to for the startup young people. If I have to speak personally, I started volunteering maybe back in 2020, I guess. Yeah, 20. It's my first time volunteering, and it's my also first time experience. It was COVID-19 era, so everything was locked down and nobody can get a free vacation or anything. So we got to try find an opportunity through online. So I got the idea of like, okay, let's give it a try volunteering. And I started I started join this one organization, and my first time experience, also a lesson learned, because it was a startup organization. The founder was also very kind and very passionate youth, but the founder was, I think, quite young. Somehow they kind of manage the organization and everything, but the internet structure is quite reckless. It's not quite organized. It's not systematic. So everything was chaos, and I was taking this position, one higher position in there, and I was so stressed because it was my first time experience, and I wanted to build a network where I can communicate with each other, because I love communicating with the rest of the people. So there were so many pros and cons and problematic things, everything. So I had to quit the organization and change my path, into different organizations and different directions. And but I would say that even though the organization I joined wasn't quite good enough for me to improve, but still it taught me something. For the first time, you got the experience, you got friends, and you got these ideas of what should I do next. You're not stuck in one position anymore. That you can see that there are so many doors are opening for you, so you change the direction to other organizations that are quite good enough and quite have good name and good profile, high profile organizations. So I started joining into those organizations, and after one or two organizations, I have done I have done like doing volunteering at the time. So I paused, not because I don't like volunteering, but because I've seen some of the people fighting for positions or fighting for uh, this power. I mean, it was nothing. It was volunteering, but still, it has authority. Like if you're a manager, if you're a HR, if you are a team leader, then you have the authority to control the people that are behind you and under you. So people are like, most of the young people, they're really kind though, but still they are kind of using their power overly. I don't like that at all. So I quit and I paused volunteering, and it was quite amazing. So if you are gonna do the volunteer for the first time, then you need to choose carefully the organization that you want to join. What organization that you really want to join? Like for some people, they really want to join an international organization, some kind of UNICEF, these kind of UN organizations and UNICEF organization and Asia organizations. So many international level, high profile organization they want to join in and want to do volunteer. But that's also fine. But if you're in Myanmar, so you need to find a better and quality organization first in order to get the experience first.
I'm seeing many youth get stuck with their career, not sure in what to do in Myanmar. The education has been quite blowing down in the negative sides, because the quality in locally has been really bad. It's not providing enough for international standards, so they gotta find themselves another options. But sometimes they feel stuck. They are mostly stuck of what they're doing. They don't know what path should they take, because they should try to research more about what they're passionate about. Start with buying volunteering. It's also a very very good option. I learned my passion. I know my passion just by volunteering. From that, I know my career from that as well. I the path I'm going to do right now, what I'm going to do in the future. I started from that. I started from volunteering. That's how people should take advantage of these volunteering situation, not in a bad way, but they can also teach you a lot of experience about people. There are many people that are fighting for many things, as you say, but sometimes many kids, trying to think that they are professionals. I think that they are really great, but they might have some audience. But those audience will fade, because audience on social media is doesn't last long. It only
Yeah.
it's only there for a period of time. You
Yeah,
gotta
of
do
course.
constantly. You gotta do actually really meaningful and important for the community of yourself. That's why that's how they can keep longer and longer on you. But if not, you're not gonna last longer. You're only likely to be stuck in one area that has only
Yeah.
one community of yourself. You won't be able to fit into other communities because
Yeah.
in order to fit into other ones, including the international ones, you need to open up your minds, building some skills, especially the language barrier is the biggest skills. Other stuff like many skills that you need to learn, people skills that like technical skill or wherever field you are, you gotta be really good at least. So that's how you're gonna get fit into this. But because the international organization doesn't just look at you just because you are good at speaking. Well,
Yeah.
it depends on the position as well. But on not only good at speaking, but the speaking term is also different from the Myanmar our audience think versus the what international audience think. They might not like the way we talk. They might not like the way we usually
Or
talk in
tone
speeches.
and or
Yeah, or
high
tone.
speech. Yeah.
Sometimes or we all always usually involve religious context or sometimes
Yeah.
some context like unnecessary things that is building into only one direction doesn't build you into a spreaded wall of diversity. No, what they won't do like that. So the international organization won't prefer that type of speech, won't prefer that type of figures. So they need to address that situation and take good care of that and learn some actual experience from at least one international organization. You will make a lot of mistakes in joining these. You won't be able to make it in the first try. You will never make it in the first try. You will never. If even if it's that, you're gonna be really lucky though. It's almost like a motivational thing, but it's not a motivation. Motivational speaker, I don't like motivational speaker that much. They can grow some fire inside you and then grow with fire, and then uh, after a while, just gone. It won't
Yeah.
last that long.
It's like a burnout.
Yeah, but it will burn out quite very soon. So you gotta build yourself. You gotta build your confidence. You gotta build your professionalism. You gotta build your skills and your expertise in what field where you in whatever field you're going through.
Yeah.
Uh, that's how the international organizations are going through. Not just because of pulling you only into one close direction.
Yeah, that's how the youth empowerment comes into, when we talk about the empower each other. So it's like it's not a big war, but it's simply to mean that support each other, encourage each other, and help each other. That's how it works. If you want to build an organization, then the foundation should be the trust. If because team members should have trust with each other. If not, that organization won't last long. So that's the priority. And after that, every member should have this engagement. In order to get an engagement, you can just meet an online meeting and every day, but it can burn out your energy and your your enthusiasm and everything, your passion. But what can keep young people motivated and energetic is like meeting outside. Going out and make these activities or involved in these events, or volunteering outside, that kind of on ground event, like our Utah Forum has recently did, the online
Nexus.
the Nexus event,
Yeah.
step debate event. So I did a even though I didn't go, I didn't get a chance to go on the on ground
Yeah.
event. I have spoken with the volunteers, some of the volunteers, and they share their experience. It's so much joy. They had so much joy, and they all they all said one thing, that they're so happy during volunteers. I think that's the essence of volunteering. So you gotta be happy. If you're doing volunteer in one specific organization, then you should be happy instead of feeling tired and not improving, feeling yourself like you're not improving, you're not developing. Then I don't think then if you're feeling that way, then I don't think that you are in a right organization. But for them, it's different. They love doing volunteering outside. They love meeting with each other and talking with each other, and this during these activities. So it was so heartwarming, to to see their drawing and their photos and these events and activities successfully finished. So it was a huge motivation for all of us, I guess, because this this is not just about volunteering or building an organization. It's about networking. We are expanding. We are youth, and we have a voice. We can do whatever we want if we are together. That kind of unity, the kind of feelings, that kind of certainty, that is giving the powerful. It's powerful, like how these young people have this kind of beautiful mindset. Instead of they're just waiting for the certificate. They're not. They're committed in this organization. Uh, like they're giving their energy because they feel that it is worth it. So their energy is worth it. Their time and their resources and their energy is worth to invest in this specific organization. So I believe that these empowering, why we when we said that empower each other, this youth empowerment, I immediately personally I immediately see our organization. that's I think that's that because it's been like 6 months, over 6 months, or the organization has already built over 6 months, and we have come across so many difficulties and so many times together. And after certain period of time, we have this kind of connections and some friendly connection, and we started having this kind of energy that we can do it. We can make a project, and we can empower other youth, continually empowering each other. So it only needs one idea, and it started creating more impact, more positive impact for next generation. So I think it's more than a certificate. It's like, if you are if and maybe later, if we join the international events, then these youth have already fulfilled themselves, with experience, with knowledge, and with communication, with everything that they have to learn. I accept when you said that we can't. It's volunteering, and going to school is different, because in school you only learn these steady things, and
You won't mostly use in real life.
yeah. But for volunteering, you learn so many life lessons, like changing your behavior, changing your manners when you talk with elder peoples, and the way you speak will change, and your confidence will automatically raise. If you're introvert, then it will makes you maybe ambivert or something extrovert. Like your behavior and your personality completely change by doing volunteer. So that's the effect. I think that's also affected me a lot. Back in the day, I wasn't quite a public speaker, but after volunteering, I've changed a lot, like personality, especially personality and everything. So uh, I think youth, more youth, if they involve in volunteering, then I believe we can build a better community that will create a long-lasting impact to the world.
Yeah, yeah. I think the main reason why our organization has have a lot of impact on the youth is that we also have the base audience as well. That's our biggest benefits. But the thing that we're doing is we're doing a vast variety of many fields, including we have many various programs that involve many things.
Yeah.
Not just one program. Not just we're not focusing on one thing. We're focusing on everything that is youth related. Everything
Yeah.
everything that will beneficial that will be beneficial to youth. The youth can get benefits from joining our programs. It would definitely get. It's not only in the one part. I see many organizations have like programs that's only going in one direction. If one organization is doing some kind of environmental activity, they're just doing only focusing on the one environmental. Sometimes when it's focused on only one educational, that will share scholarship opportunity, that will share some environments of the international university or something like that.
Yeah.
They only focus on that. They don't have nothing else anymore. But the people might get bored if you post everything about education every day of these schools every day. you people will lose interest. People will lose
Yeah.
interest. We want excitement. You know, we use want excitement. We want something that to challenges us. No, so we gotta give something like that. We gotta give some excitement, something that is not the same as others. So that is
Yeah.
totally different from others. And during in that doing all this excitement, there's in the middle there you can get some knowledge sharing, or you can get some educational, and then some examen again. So people won't get bored. They got educational, they got fun, and they got educational something. There is a
Yeah,
circle.
it's
They won't even have time to get bored. They'll be fun, and they'll get like attached to this.
Yeah.
So it's important. It's very important for that. Also in many NGO organization, or I see in there too. But what they're missing is they cannot show off what they're doing. They're just doing only one thing. They have only one thing to show off. They don't have much other things to show off. Showing off is also important, but you gotta have the meaning behind it. You gotta have the actual use that is beneficial to that. So the use should have the beneficial to whatever program you're doing. That's how you can show off to the other organization that will
Yeah.
get the real impression.
Yeah, I mean, most of I accept that most of the NGOs organizations, they don't they call volunteers just for their image. You know, that I mean, if they are planning for an event or for a project, they need this maybe 30 young people, 30 volunteers, and they call those volunteers with a paint. You know, they will pay you. They'll pay you, and you just come to here and volunteer and do everything that they need to. So it's like what happened is that I would say that it is kind of exploiting youth. You know, with I mean they get money, but still it's not volunteering. It's kind of a internship. Yeah, internship, like part-time job. You know, for like for an hour or for a day, and you get a job, and but they name it as a volunteer, just volunteer, and you get this benefits and everything. But after that project finish, then there is no connection left. There's no networking left. So it's just like you're so those you will wonder like what other opportunities they can get from this because they want to build connection. They want to build uh, this community that they can talk freely, that they can share ideas, creativities, and everything. You know, because that's what youth are for. I mean, we are the voices of today, right? We are the future of tomorrow as well. So we need more young people to willingness their willingness to invest in some of the project or some of the events, so that they can share their idea, their creativities throughout the world. So but I only see like few organizations that allow, that encourage, and that raise these youth from the bottom, to go higher places. So maybe we still need to work a lot more to call to call those volunteers with us together, to call those youth for to build something more beautiful, and more beautiful for the world.
Our
Yeah.
our organization is something that unique that I would say there's no other organization in Myanmar is doing right now. I don't care what other people think, but we're gonna is it's just a start of that. It's just a little bit start of that. We're gonna do more and more that many people will never ever see before. We'll give the results. We'll show the results that people might not even think of that. Some people might get down on and get underestimated to us, or they don't really think that we can make it or something. But we'll make it like a really really high level, and then you won't even imagine how we were gonna make it. And it's just like in our theme song, we'll make it out one day, and that one day is very very soon. It's not that far away anymore.
Yeah, you might be wondering like what are we talking, but as I said before, today's topic is kind of random, but it's related to us, like youth. So we can share our ideas, we can share our thoughts on that's what exactly we did today. And it might feel kind of random, but if you think about it a little bit deeper, then you can figure it out by yourself. What like maybe you can even ask yourself a question. If you're doing volunteering, then you can ask like, am I happy to do in this specific place? Am I getting benefit from them? So those kind of reflex question that you should ask yourself. So if you're happy with that, then I believe that you're in the right position and you're in the right place. So what we discuss about is that volunteering is not just about getting certificates. It's not that those doors are not only open for certificates. What keeps it open is your character. Your character matters. If you're well mannered and if you're well behaved, then you can get in most of the good quality organizations, and you can do your passionate your passionate position or your passionate things that you want to do in the organization. So today topic is a big not heavy, it's a bit light, and it's a kind of a medium, and we will discuss more about this kind of topic later episodes.
Yeah, next time it will involve a lot of thinking stuff that you might never think before. Something extraordinary, I would say. I won't spoil it though, but I think you guys will have something to catch on, something to think about what we're talking today, and then you gotta raise your bars. You gotta know what you're doing, what you're going through, what your career is, what is your purpose, what are your dreams and goals. You gotta accomplish those. In order to accomplish that, you need to be in the right place, and you need to give your best, give your ultimate best to what you're doing. Focus is the most important thing, and dedication is very necessary for our youth today. So
Yeah.
the youth can literally change the world.
Yeah, today we discuss about local organizations, and especially in Southeast Asia and especially in Myanmar. So these kind of local organizations, but maybe next time we will go for international organizations and international events, and how these conference and these programs, these exchange programs, connected to youth, and how the world, how these youth empowerment is playing all of us among youth. So we will discuss more about this and the challenges that young volunteers might feel to get into those kind of international events or conferences or programs. So let's stay tuned for that, and we will come back with more information in next episode.
All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and that's all for today.
Yeah, so see you in the next episode of Rocket Science Podcast.